Hi everyone, and welcome back. As you've seen just recently, I recorded a short film for a client called Just Another Day. And I thought it would be very interesting going through the equipment that I used, which ultimately is budget equipment coming up to a value of about £1,000. First up, we have the camera, my trusted Lumix GH4. It records 4K up to 30 FPS, although I usually use 24. The only thing that it isn't that good at is low light recording. And although I am planning on upgrading soon, probably to the GH5 or the S5, I'm not quite sure yet, I will definitely keep this one in my equipment as a B camera, backup camera, because it does an amazing job for a really good price. And the battery life as well is actually not too bad. The Lumix GH4 is known in the industry as a workhorse, and I can most definitely attest to that. It does not give up. It has let me down only once so far, but do you know what? Every camera will let you down at some point, but this thing, for the price that I got it at, which was around £300 I think, it does an amazing job. Now, number 2 on this list is the microphone that I used, and I used the Sennheiser MKE 600. This thing, it's almost mean calling it budget, because it does an amazing job. It is a really clear and crisp directional microphone for an amazing price. I used it a lot during rain actually in the last film, because we weren't as lucky with the weather as we had hoped, but no damage, it did so well, and I'm actually using it right now. For the short film, I had it on a boom pole the whole time, and it was the easiest thing to set up. It is so easy to carry around, it is small, it is lightweight, but it will do a fantastic job, trust me. Number 3, now having a microphone only really helps you if you have something to record with, right? And I needed something handheld because I can't just walk around with my laptop and my interface as I'm doing right now for an in-house shoot. I need something small, and that's where the Zoom H6 comes in. Amazing price range from around 160 to 250 pounds. It is a beast. It has 4 inputs, which can all be individually adjusted, so it will definitely fit your requirements, and it's super easy and small to carry around. The battery life as well is very surprising, and my sound recordist basically just walked around with a bum bag with the recorder inside, a bit of the cable, and then the boom pole with the Sennheiser on it, and it sounds great. I was very surprised. I'm definitely gonna get at least one more of those. Now, number 4 is the light, and I'm so glad I bought this thing. I'm actually using it right now. It is the SmallRig RC60B. For the price of 150 to 200 pounds, this thing is a must-have for anyone shooting guerrilla style or just like quick and easy filming. The battery lasts super long unless it's used at full power the whole time, obviously. And if you need it to, it shines like the sun. This thing right now, I'm using it at about 40% with a honeycomb grid on it, but I could turn it up to 100, and do you know what? Let's just try that. So right now I've got it at 100%, running at 3500, and it is actually a bit too bright, too close, so I'm just going to turn it back down again. All right, there we go. So this thing is amazing. I didn't have to use it too much for the scenes outside because thankfully after the rain we had the sun come out, so it did help out a lot with the lighting. But for when the shadows were just too harsh and I wanted to soften up the scene a bit, I would take this thing out, give it to one of the cast who wasn't in the current scene, and just helped out a bit with the shadows, and I'm so happy to have it. It is rechargeable, you can use it really on the fly whenever you need to. It is, for me, a must-have. And then staying on lighting, for the in-house scenes at the beginning of the film, I just used some very budget Amazon basic softboxes. They do the job. I will have to upgrade them very soon, but so far they're absolutely fine, and they only cost around £60 I think. So you can find some good stuff on Amazon that is very cheap, that will do the job. It won't be great, but it will help. It will do the job as much as it can. Now we get to a few little add-ons, just little pieces of equipment that made my life easier and just were fun to use really. As I was 1 day away from the first day of shooting the in-house scenes, so the beginning scenes of the film, I thought, alright, I want it to look moody, I want it to look good, so what can make it moodier? That's it, smoke. Now I don't have a smoke machine, and smoke machines can be very expensive, and also I was a bit under pressure because as clever as I was, I didn't have much time to get it delivered in time. So I went on Amazon and just had a look around, and I found the Lensgo Smoke S machine. I had never heard about it, but it was only about 100 quid. The reviews were pretty good, so I ordered it in. It came in time, and this thing is actually great little fun. It is tiny, it is easy to carry around. It like works in seconds. You turn it on in 5 to 10 seconds after it is ready to let out the smoke. And for scenes that don't require loads of smoke, it will do a really, really good job. I was lucky enough to record the opening scenes of the film in one single room, so this little thing actually did exactly what I needed it to. But obviously, if you need more smoke, you should probably go to the more regular, normal sized, proper smoke machines. But for something that is small and easy to carry around and you can just use whenever you have the idea of bringing some smoke into the scene, this little machine is a really, really good thing to have in your equipment bag. The next little piece of equipment is my newer shoulder rig. At the moment I don't have a gimbal, so a shoulder rig was the next logical thing to get. And for about £90 it did make my life a lot easier. I have to admit, after a day of shooting the outside scenes especially, my shoulder did hurt quite a bit in the end, but it helped just getting the scenes look smoother, and it allowed me a bit more time for the edit of the rest of the scenes instead of having to spend time afterwards stabilizing every scene and trying to make it look good, which can be stressful. Shoulder rigs in general are a really good ace to have up your sleeve. I think one of the most important things though is to have the balance right. So when you put your camera rig on there, make sure that the weight is balanced throughout the shoulder rig, because otherwise you'll have it like front heavy and it'll be absolute pain to hold it up the whole time, and afterwards your arms will be cramping up, or you'll have it back heavy and your shoulder will be hurting like crazy after an hour or two. So make sure that the weight is evenly balanced throughout the shoulder rig. The last little piece of equipment that I absolutely love using is this little lens filter. Now there's a lot of people online saying that buying a lens filter is a bit of a waste of money. I don't really agree. I just love using it. Now I'm not a professional filmmaker, I'm learning as I'm going. But for me, this thing helps out so much. Especially when the sun is out and shining very brightly. Putting this thing on your camera will just help giving the colors a bit more oomph, which is great for editing and doing the color grading afterwards. And it'll just help dealing with the sun rays and not making them too harsh. Now this lens that I'm using is the URTH, U-R-T-H, and it is, let me just check, a 46mm free-stop ND2 lens filter. And what I really love about this thing is that it is variable. So you can adjust how strong you want it to be, depending on the scene and the moment you're in, depending on the light that you're getting. So I'll just try and show you what that actually means. So right now, I've put it up to max, so the highest strength you're gonna get with it. But then you can turn it down to get a different picture and get a different impact, which I really like. So that is the lightest you'll get, and there we go, that is the strongest you'll get. So yeah, it is a really, really handy little thing to have, and it only cost about £40. Now obviously, depending on the size that you need, which depends on the lens that you're using. For the short film Just Another Day, I used one single lens actually, thankfully, and it was a 25mm prime lens, which does an amazing job. I really, really like that lens. Before I let you go, a couple of tips when you go out to shoot on set. Equipment is great and important and fun to use, absolutely, but the real game changer is planning ahead. And that entails creating a shot list. Going out to the location you're going to be recording at before you actually go on set to record. So let's say you know that you're going to record the video or the film on a Sunday at 11 AM. The week before, on day Sunday at 11 AM, go to the location, check out the location, scout it, see what is the light going to be like, what is the noise going to be like. Take your camera, look through the lens of your camera to figure out good locations and spots that you can use for the scenes that you're planning. Create a shot list, which is crucial. It happened to me a few times during the recording of Just Another Day that I was standing there and thinking, oh gosh, what scene is coming up next? What am I supposed to do? My mind was just completely blanking, because being on set and recording and having a cast of 6, 7, 8 people can be very stressful, and there's a lot on your mind, there's a lot you have to think about. And so thankfully I could turn to the shot list that I created beforehand, where I put all the details to every shot, what angle I would use, and even wrote in what the scene would bring to the film, the purpose of the scene. it helped me out so much. Honestly, it is a must-have for any time you go out to shoot, to record a film. Last but not least, treat your cast and your crew as well as you can. I wasn't able to pay them, unfortunately, so I just invited them out for a pizza. I just wanted them to know they're valued and wanted them to feel comfortable and have fun during all the recording and the acting and the helping out in whatever way they were helping out. And they loved it. They had a great time, and it just helped them give in their all in the scene or whatever they were doing behind camera. Yeah, it ended up being a really great time, and I really enjoyed working with every single one of them. That is it from me. If you haven't watched the film Just Another Day yet, go on and watch it, let me know what you think. And I wish you a great day, great evening, great night, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.